Hey, Chuck, cjmadventures@gmail.com. So, anybody's noticed we're getting into the hard rock part of it, which means smelting, crushing rock, and the final process of cupeling. So, the best way to cupel is to have a constant temperature, so you can melt away the lead and reveal what you have. So, but we don't have one of those furnaces that you can plug in, the electric kiln. They're quite expensive. So let's do the next best thing, because you got to think, like, they didn't have electric kilns way back when they're cupeling. So let's start out with one of these. Basically, what we're going to be making is a small kiln. So you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need a drill, an angle grinder, a couple of cans. You need a bucket. You need some stuff called concrete fill or plaster. The concrete fill tends to hold up to the heat a little bit better. So anyway, just grab it. That'll be a good size can. This will be good spacing between it. So let's start cutting. We're gonna need a top for this that we can put on top, so we can open and close to get the right desired heat. So this is already kind of marked out. So I'm just gonna basically follow that line. That's going to be our top that will go on there. Very simple. So we got this, which is going to go inside. And we won't be using that. That's just going to be a spacer for what we need. So the next thing we got to do is we got to drill a hole so we can put our torch into there. And big enough that you can get air in behind it. Like just with this, a simple hair dryer will work to maintain your heat. So let's get that drilled. So anywhere, I think probably around, a couple inches out from the bottom. So you got your hole here, and so we got all the parts that we need. So the next thing we're going to get ready to do is we want to fill up our bucket with concrete fill. And I use this stuff because it dries fairly quickly. So I can pour all of this solution into there. And it'll set up quite quickly, so I can put the main can down into there. So let's get that done. The next step will be getting the water in there, getting that mixed up. We're gonna have to make sure that our port is big enough. So we'll get on that. So we got a couple of things that we're gonna do here. I want to make sure that our port's going to be big enough to hold that. Plus get a little bit of air in behind it. Well, it's got lots of room. The other thing we're going to need to do is plug that hole. And we want that basically going into about the center. You can see that. So that's going to tell us Okay. And that will come out after. And if I put this down into there, let's bring it back actually. Let's use this. So actually, let's back up a little bit. Don't bring it to the center, bring it up to about here. Because that's where you know you want your can sitting down. And that's got to sit kind of below that. Okay, so we got all that done. We're gonna need the top done. The top done, we're just gonna take a bit of cellophane. Put that down just so when we pour it, it's not gonna stick. Then we'll get it off easily. So let's get this. And then here's another spacer for a hole. That'll work perfect. Okay, so let's get this all mixed up. The stuff is pretty easy to mix. If you wanted to make it a little bit more durable, you could probably put some Portland cement in there too, which I do have. But as you can see, it sits up pretty good. So yeah, you know what? I am going to put a little bit of Portland cement in there. Not much, and you can get that from your local hardware store. We'll throw that in there. It'll make it a little bit more durable. Mix all of that in. So that's mixed up pretty good. Let's start with our top. We're just going to put that in. Just like so. Fill it right up. Then we're going to need the center. Just simply push it all the way through. What's at the bottom. And then if you want, we'll make it look nice. Take all that off. And as this sets up, once it's strong enough to hold its form, you'll pull that out. Okay, so let's get this one filled up. Just basically fill it right up, all the way to the top. Now before I got my big kiln, I was making these because, and it works. You gotta use a smaller crucible. That's why I got the bigger one, so I could have more crucibles. Just gonna shake so it settles. Okay. I'm gonna throw our part in there. And then I'm gonna take my soup can, We're going to push it down so it's centered. And then push it down. Probably down to about there. Okay. We'll just take that off. Excess off. I mean, it's still gonna work, whether it looks like crap or it doesn't. It's all you're needing this to do is just be able to insulate, maintain the right heat. So push it down a little bit further. If I can get that sitting flat, that would be even better, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. So there you have it. It's pretty simple. We'll let this dry up and then we'll try one out. There's lots of stuff that we can do that was done many years ago, thousands of years ago. It doesn't have to be the latest, greatest technology. We go back to basics, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show you the basic way, the easiest, the most cheapest way that people have been doing this for thousands of years. Minus the soup can and the DEET. But you know what I'm saying. So, next scene will be us firing this thing up.